Hi, my name is Yasu, and I do Hitorigoto in my channel, which is a Japanese word and it means talking to myself. So today I want to answer a question about uh, the tumor that I had around here like 3 years ago. I think it's called parotid, parotid gland tumor. And I actually found out like 3 years ago, and I did surgery and remove everything. It was quite interesting experience to actually go through because there's only like one in 100,000 people chance of getting that tumor, and there is no environmental or genetic factors that's causing that. So as far as I know, all the information that I got from my doctor, nobody knows why people actually get like develop to have that kind of tumor. And unfortunately, I was the one who developed to have the tumor and had to go through all of the troubles, including the surgery to remove everything. And the question that I'm answering today is, how big were your tumors when you're removing your tumor? The answer is, by the time they removed it and they measured the biggest one, the size is um, 15 millimeter, like 1.5 centimeter, and that was after the surgery. That's measured once they removed it, which was like, I think the last day of March 2023. And prior to that, they did ultrasound uh, examination on my tumor, as well as I had to do MRI and everything. So before the surgery, the size of the biggest one that I was informed was 13 millimeter, like 1.3 centimeter. So it might fall into marginal error, but if there's no such thing, then I guess in that 2 months between when I first officially diagnosed as me having parotid gland tumor, and then the time that I was going through the surgery, in that 2 months, 2 months, tumor got a little bit bigger. So when I found out, I felt a little bit better that I decided to just undergo the surgery right away. And I remember like when I was asking my doctor that for, I mean, usually when how people decided to, or when do people decided to actually, okay, I'm gonna go to surgery, I'm gonna do surgery, I'm just gonna remove my tumors. And usually how big are their tumors are. I didn't know, I still don't know why I asked the question, but I really wanted to know. And it partially probably because um, she was telling me that I came to her when my tumor is a lot smaller compared to the ones that most of her patients actually have had. And I forgot, she said usually the tumors for those regular patients tended to be like 40 millimeter, like 4, 4 centimeter. That's the average for her patients. So compared to that, mine was much smaller. I forgot, it's usually, the size is usually after they removed their surgery, after my doctor removed their tumors, or when she diagnosed, I forgot which one, but it, I remember when I was asking her, oh yeah, mine was much smaller than most of the people who decided to remove their tumors by undergoing through the surgery. And I've been talking about this tumor on my video, especially before, quite often, and then I remember some of the questions, including the one that I'm answering this one, is a lot of people are curious about the size. And I couldn't understand why. Because for me, I felt there was something here when I was taking shower. I think that's later 2022, which still the world is dealing with pandemic. And when finally my doctor diagnosed it, and then she did what's it called, biopsy, and some of them were not cancer, yes, but some of them not. It's undetected because it's just the sample size is too small. And she was telling me that I could wait and see how it goes, because it might not be cancer after all. But also she was informing me that if I don't do anything, it will just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and then most likely and eventually it will become a cancer with high probability. So what she usually recommends her patients is that if they're older, like they're in like 70s or 80s, they need to assess pros and cons of getting the surgery done, because it will have huge impact on their health, regardless how successful the surgery will be. But in my case, um, compared to her regular patients, I'm much younger. That means my cell can reproduce rapidly. That means getting bigger rapidly. And there's a higher chance that you know, this could actually have become cancer someday, based on the statistics. So when she was providing those kind of informations on the day that she diagnosed that I'm actually having this parotid gland tumor. I told her right away that I'm just gonna do it surgery, and then can you just reserve the uh, operation room, fix the surgery days and everything. I remember she was very surprised because usually people seems to need more time to think and getting like second opinions, or like they want to do more like study and research on their own before they make up their minds and everything. But to me, I got all the information that I needed to make decisions, and then it was still during the pandemic. It was so much harder to resolve the operation schedules and everything. I just wanted to get it out ASAP, so I just did it. And I think that could be one of the reasons why I was able to do the surgery, even my tumors are much smaller than other patients' tumors, which probably saved me from getting probably extra damage on my body and everything. But also, it depends on the location where those tumors are placed. So it's not only about the size anyway, but I guess based on how everything is with me right now, I made the right decisions to just do the surgery right away. But for me to actually speak about that gives me time to actually think about what happened back then. Even the biggest tumor was only 15 millimeter, but I had to um, they had to cut me open here for more than 20 centimeter. So I imagine that what if my tumors are much bigger than 15 millimeter? What if mine was 40 millimeter, like her other patients? Then I might have ended up getting much bigger scars. That's one of the possibilities. So yeah, I guess I'm lucky. And I remember like why I was curious about. I was looking for informations after um, I finished seeing the doctor when I was diagnosed officially, like what other patients actually went through. And I remember like I was very curious about, is it really true that for other people who have these similar tumors, when they decided to do the surgery, how big um, their surgeries, their tumors were, and then what what are lives after they finish the surgery. I think one of them is, of course, cutting here, like on the face. And there is a lot of side effect after the surgery. Of course, I had to read and everything, and I had to like confirm everything with my doctors. But like some of them were like half of my face could be paralyzed because here the parotid gland, this has a lot of nerves that control facial expressions and everything. I think most of them actually coming through here. So doing surgery and removing everything here, it it sounded very delicate surgery. So if the tumor is smaller, it's a lot easier for doctors to operate the surgery anyway without damaging those facial nervous systems and so on. I don't remember I was worried about what if my face was paralyzed after all, but in some way, I was so fixated on just get ready for surgery, I need to do this, and then if something goes wrong, I need to do this. Like coming up with the schedule and then just keep doing those mini tasks and everything. I was so preoccupied. Looking back, I think I can say that I was just simply focused on what I can do and then just forget about things that's out of my control. Probably that's just a coping mechanism anyway. But I remember, yeah, my tumors are much smaller. There's a higher chance that I wouldn't actually have, it's less chance for me to actually have like side effect, like less chance for me to actually develop being paralyzed half of my face and so on. And my doctor wouldn't have to cut me open that big, which I was wrong. I don't think I asked her how big she would have to cut me open to remove the tumors. I don't think I asked her. I don't remember. But I do remember when she told me that, oh, I ended up cutting you like more than 20 centimeters, and I was like, okay, that's actually big. I remember that. And it was quite shocking for me to actually regain my consciousness and see myself in the mirror. I Everything is covered up, so I couldn't really see the actual scar, but it's really really messed up. And like half of my face got so swollen, like it got so bigger. I was wondering, okay, will this get actually get better? I don't remember being scared because I was so much in pain. But for me to wonder that, I guess I was scared. Like if everything just recovered well and it becomes normal. So how I look like, this is almost after 3 years after the surgery. So I guess everything looks okay. And I think, no, no, I think I did post a picture on my Instagram account that this is how I looked like right after the surgery, and then this is a year later. And I think I remember, I think I posted something like, "It's amazing how my body could actually heal from this messed up situation to this." And compared to that, everything looks really, really better. Like, if I don't tell people that I went through the surgery, cut me, cut open like 20 centimeter, they wouldn't know. Even I tell people, they really need to close pay attention to see, oh, yeah, there is a little scar, so I could tell a little bit now, but it doesn't look like they cut you open like 20 centimeter. So human body is actually amazing. It can really heal really well. But maybe this is one of the benefits that I decided to just remove it when my tumors are actually much, much smaller. And also, I think, fortunately, the location wise, tumors are not located in a way that my doctor would have to damage my nervous system. So I guess everything just played out well. Hmm. So yeah, I remember. This is what I tell people. Uh, we take showers every day, so please wash your face every day. And when you wash your face, just make you have it to just do the massage a little bit here every day. If not, you don't feel anything. There's nothing that you don't really have to worry about anything. But if someday when you massage your face when you're taking shower, and if you feel something, uh, just go to see a doctor right away. Probably nothing major, but if there are something that you need to pay attention to, if it's still smaller, you will actually have more options, or more likely your doctors can actually offer you more options. And I remember my doctor told me that most of the people just they 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 found out there are tumors, but they waited for a long time to actually come seeing the doctors because they're scared. They think they just keep telling themselves that, oh, nothing major. Oh, it's probably pimples and it's just gonna go away. Um, yeah, maybe it's pimples and it can go away easily. But regardless, it's just simply better to have just everything checked. The reason why I'm telling this is because there's only 1 in 100,000 people chances of getting it. However, there is no environmental and then genetic factors that can contribute to this kind of tumors. And if you live it, do nothing, um, it will increase the chance of getting cancer, because as far as I informed and as far as all the information that I have gathered, it's really hard to detect, even by doing biopsy, that to detect whether it's a cancer or not, because it's just there are way too many different types of cells involved there. And if we leave it there, do nothing, most likely it gets bigger, and then most likely it will become a cancer. That's what study found out. So sooner or later, most likely we have to make a decisions to do the surgery or not. And if you have no choice but do the surgery, then there's a higher chance that you might regret that, oh, I should have done it much earlier, when the tumors are still much smaller, easier to operate, do the surgery and remove it, and then they wouldn't have to cut my face that big. So yeah, that's the decisions that you might have to consider in the future. But there is also the possibility that you don't really have to do anything, and it will never become a cancer. And there's always what if, what if, what if. And you need to make a decisions. And I'm not asking you to make a decisions like I did. I'm just here to share my experience, why I made a decisions like I did, and hopefully that will help you to make a decisions with a little bit more confidence. Because when I was looking for information about parotid gland tumors, people really don't talk about it. There are just not much cases that I could find. And I wish that I would be able to find more information back then. So hopefully this can give you some kind of directions. But most of the people, you don't have to worry about that, because just chances of getting it, 1 in 100,000 people, and no genetic, no environmental factors involved. So anyway, thank you for watching, and stay healthy. And in terms of this tumor, there's nothing you can do. So pay attention when you take shower. I think that's all I can say. Thank you for watching. Jane. Bye bye.